give or take. So SAS on, ignition. I mean, this thing is probably inefficient as all hell, and I don't give a fuck. Because you know what? It has 8 engines around the middle, is what I mean. You see, instead of 6, it's got 2, 4, 6, 8. 2 extra engines, and so it's a bunch more powerful. Um, this one is the one that I used to get. This was sort of my first practice when I was getting in. It's like, oh, you know, it's hard to make a craft that lands on the moon. That's because I was so used to doing the beta or the free beta one, the 0.14 version, which is the one that you do as the demo. This is 0.16 or was it 0.12? I don't remember. Either way, this is the not demo. This is 0.16, and when I was playing the demo, I landed on the moon, but I had a hard time doing it again in the actual bought version because a lot of the things had changed in one of the later patches. It was like 0.15 or 0.14. I don't remember. Anyway, so it changed, and I wasn't used to it. So this thing definitely will get us there and back, and that's what I intend to do. But this is to the moon and then back again. Then I have to call my sister because it's her birthday today. Among other things that I must do. Around 12 to 14,000 meters I will tilt over. I think we have 2 more fuel pods left. Let's check though. No, we got a few more than that. We got these as well. Unless this one's out. Nope. So we got 2 more of these, which are in this. That's good. Right, so now, as I said, I'm going to tilt over about now. This one's much more behaved than the other one because it's got a really big gimbal engine in the middle. And that helps. Yep, it really helps. Alright, so we'll go like this. And, yeah, we still got one more after this. I'm going to tilt it over slightly again. I want it to be about there for a little while. Until this thing runs out, we drop to the other tanks, then I will switch over. And let's lose it. Lose them. Bam, right away. Watch them go away. Fly, fly away. This thing is certainly good enough to get us where we want to go. That'll grow quickly. And I want to sort of get up a lot of speed, which we are doing. Good. This thing I landed on Minmus, which, by the way, is harder. So after I land on the moon like this, I'll land on Minmus. And then we'll sort of mess around with MechJeb a little bit, and some space planes and stuff like that. I think that's sort of the general thing here. I've built all the spacecraft I need to go places, except there's one thing I haven't built yet, and I would like to do it, and that's disturbing. The thing is doing its thing. You can sort of see it. The parts are sort of collapsing into each other. Which is no good. It happens here around the edge of the atmosphere, I think, but it should be okay. I don't think I put too much stress on it, so. All right. So let's burn until we get into the orbit of Kerbin, and actually burn all the way to the orbit of the moon, and then make it so it's a stable orbit, and then wait for us to be captured by the moon, because I don't really care about waiting and circularizing orbits and any of that fun stuff. I just want to get there as quickly as possible. And we will certainly do that. So let's bring this down more all the way to there. Right on the dot. We've got a tank and a half, which is enough to get us where we want to go, I think. And hey, there's our periapsis. We'll have a stable orbit. Just fine. 40, 50, yeah. We'll definitely have a stable orbit. I just need this quickly. And then, see, I'm trying to avoid the fuel glitches because I know they exist and I'd rather not, but in order to get to this without like overshooting, you sort of have to go low. Alright, like so. Now, we've still got half a tank left. So what we're going to do is time warp it. Let's see. What's our thing here? 68,000. I'll beef that up slightly. When we get up to here, I will undo it. And hey, this thing is going out way. Oh, hey. The Munshot 1 going flying into space. So yeah, we'll get up to the apoapsis, and then we will burn. Like so. At this point, I want to flip it around. Needs a little bit of gas to do so. I'll flip it around, and then I will burn slightly just to bring the periapsis to like 100 or so, 150 kilometers off the surface. And then we'll go around a few times until the Mun catches up with us, which will happen, because it always happens. It takes a little bit of time, but it happens. I want to just sort of do that. Spin a little bit. Get us over to this side. And slowly make our way over here. I'm close enough to the apoapsis, I think, that it shouldn't really matter too much. Alrighty. Now, where's our periapsis? I think our periapsis is now okay. Now, our periapsis is at 600,000, which is perfect, because then I can go to 1,000, like this. Which should be just fine, or 10,000. I would never go any higher than this while trying to capture the moon. Oh, just missed. It should take one more revolution. Perhaps, maybe two. I don't know. We'll find out. Yep, Munshot. Caught it. Which means we can slow down. Whoa. Okay. Now, to land, the best way to land on the moon is to land on the light side of the moon. So the best way to do this is to time warp until you get to the periapsis and then slow down, which is actually the direction I'm facing, thankfully. So you burn here, it sort of drops the orbit, and I'm going to drop the orbit right about there, and then we're going to land. So we're going to have some debris orbiting the moon, probably. Anyway, 50, 100, good. We're getting there. 5 minutes, 3 minutes, boom. Okay, perfect. Let's burn and move ourselves slightly. And punk. And as you can see, we're sort of, get out of my way, fucking fly thing. Anyway. And bam, there's our orbit. Slow it down here. And there we are. We've actually gone into the orbit here. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to drop the periapsis until it just goes into the moon, and then we're going to sort of speed around a little bit. And oh, there we go. Because that's about where I want to land, actually. So now comes the fun part. We still got a bunch of fuel in this thing, so this thing will help us slow down, which is nice. We've got 500 meters, and we're just going to speed up some time here. Like 100 times, probably, or 50 times. I want to drop it to 100,000 meters before we do anything, really. That should be enough. 400. Sorry, 200. Because 100,000 meters will be just fine. I could slow down in that amount of time pretty easy. All right. 300. I might start the turn at 120 just because we might be going quite fast. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2. Yep, see, I knew that would happen, so let's burn slightly so we can turn. And turn the spacecraft a little bit. Drop that off. See, because this thing needs power on to turn. It's just one of those kind of spacecraft. Yeah, I knew it would take me until about 100,000 from 120 to turn it the right way. And what I want to do is I want to cut our sideways motion more so than anything else. So I'm going to sort of lock it out here, sort of kill our lateral motion since that's the killer here. We're coming in, and what we want to do is we want to take our orbit here and just shrink it to a line. So it's like a line straight down here. That's sort of our goal. And the reason why we want to do this is because circular orbits, or your lateral velocity is what's going to kill you in the end, and you want to have no lateral velocity. So I'm going to aim, actually, or attempt to aim, and it's pretty much going to land us in that crater, so being close enough. So let's sort of drop our speed a little bit. Because again, I don't want to kill our downward velocity so much as I want to kill our radial, or our not radial. What am I talking about? Our lateral velocity, which is all I'm trying to do again with this maneuver. So I'll know once it gets there, and then I want to drop pretty much straight down from there. And I can do most of that with the other vehicle. This is just sort of to get me headed in the right direction. We're almost there. Almost there. And still almost there. I'm gonna get quite close though. And bunk. Pretty much straight up and down. Pretty much. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is slowly turn us towards straight up and down, and I'm going to use most of the fuel of this thing to land us. I'm actually going to pop our gear. Why? Because I can. So I'm going to pop the gear, and the reason why I'm landing on the light side of the moon is because on the dark side of the moon you can't fucking see anything, and it's not fun. It is no fun landing on the dark side of the moon. I can tell you that from experience. Even manually landing with like MechJeb telling you how high the height is on the dark side of the moon is still really difficult. Because your altitude here is usually off by about 2,000 meters, so when you think you're about to hit the ground, it's not the ground. It's 2,000 meters above that is where the actual ground is, and so you always hit the ground, and it's no fun. No one likes it. So anyway, we're going to drop, I think, to around. I'll warp it a little bit. We'll drop down to around 25, 30,000 meters. Start the next part of the descent. Since we have canceled our lateral velocity, now we have to just sort of drop a little bit and then cancel our vertical velocity, and bam, we're done. So we just need to speed up time a little bit and wait. Just want to make sure that we're not going to crash, so that's why I'm just sort of doing it low things. So we're going to do this for a little bit. 30, so we'll stop at 30, yeah. 2, 1, 30, alright. Now, we're going to slowly just eat away at our velocity here, just enough. For now, I mean, it won't matter yet. And this main engine here, we're just going to use to slow us down. But if we needed to, we could turn on much higher, and I'm sure we will. And actually, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Oops. Come on. There we go. And drop pretty much right centered. All right, we're at 15,000. You could sort of see the lumps of the Earth now coming towards us. Let's slow down a bit more earnestly here. 12,000. Let's burn quite good. Surface. And see, we're off slightly here. And I want to make sure that we slowly cancel that velocity. 10,000. 9,000. Alrighty. There we go. I just want to slowly burn, just very slowly sort of keep where we are at this point is pretty good. Again, it'll be about 2,000 meters, give or take, that we're going to be landing at, so and we will run out of fuel perhaps with this thing. Perhaps not, but we're going to have to switch to the other one shortly, so I may do that. When we hit 5,000 meters, I'll jettison the bottom thing, and we will go from there. Which means I have to cut engine, switch, and then ignite the other one, because otherwise this thing might actually get in our way with less mass. So I'm going to cut engine, drop, ignite, and separate slightly. There we go. So that will drop away, and it'll give us a better estimate of the actual height of this thing. When that hits the ground, we know that's how far we have left. It says 4,000 meters, and I would like to slow down soon. So 600, 700, you know. I could sort of start to see the ground now, just a little bit. It's at least a kilometer away, though. So we've got a little bit of time. And it crashed. So we've got about 1.5 kilometers to 2 kilometers left, somewhere in there. And you can sort of start to see the little lines of the texture here. That means we're getting close. And I need to drop it to basically, yeah, we'll just sort of keep our velocity as close as we can. And then I'm going to burn as close to the end as I can and just sort of slow us down to almost nothing, because we could see it coming up at us. So now is the time. And this thing thankfully can do it. So now comes the the most difficult part, which is trying to balance looking at the ball with looking at or the lateral, because you want to cancel lateral movement, so it's like, oh god, you know? Alright. And you want to sort of keep your velocity constant. Landing, I'll just put it right in the middle there. And I want to, like you can see, we're almost there, so. And again, try to cancel your lateral movement as much as you can. And you want to land at under like 5 meters a second, preferably a lot less than that. So, yep, there we go. Whoa. We bounced a bit, but guess what? We're here. We landed. Woohoo! We are on the moon. It's not that hard to get here. It works. So anyway, it's EVA time. Oh god. Oh god. Alright, so it's shift. No, it's RCS. And shift to go flying up. Hey, look everybody. It's that blue thing that we call home. Look at it. It's from the moon. Oh god. This is not good. I'm just going to try to land this without killing my little dude. There we go. There he is. He's all happy. But you know what? He can see home. He is going to want to go home. I can tell you that now. Because hell, I would want to go home at this point. I'd be like, yep, I saw the moon. I'm here. It's nice. You know, we just did our little Neil Armstrong thing. So sad he died, but, you know, shit happens, as it were. F. And let's go up back into the capsule. There we go. So now we are going home. Here we are on the moon. The moon is nice. Let's see where we are, though. We're going to want to go off again on the elliptic on the 90. That's sort of going to be our goal. Actually, we're going to have to go that direction. I'm not sure what direction that is, but I'll find out in a moment. We'll throttle it up. Which direction is that? Nope, it's not that way. It's this way. So we're going to go off towards 270. Because that's where Kerman is. And we're actually going to do the retrograde orbit, I suppose. And that's fine. I don't really mind. That'll get us in the right-ish direction. No, we actually want to go slightly more this way. Sort of down that way. Yep, because you want to be on the elliptic here, otherwise it can be an issue. And all we're trying to do now is to go home. And this should work. Once the periapsis sort of goes away. Yep, there we go. Guess what? We're going home. We just did it well enough here. Just retrograde out and fall straight towards Kerman. And now all you have to do is warp some time, and we will eventually do this. So, now we're headed home. I'm going to sort of fall on the dark side, which kind of sucks, but you know what? He survived his little mission, and that's what matters. Let's slow down. Here's our little guy. He's so happy. Good, here we are. This is the atmosphere. We are going to slam into it pretty good. We're going to drop off everything and land with all of our gear here. I forgot that I'd done it this way. There's 5 things, and they're sort of attached here. Let's see if we can't right this ship slightly. We're flipping around the other way. No, 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 not so much, not so much. Lots of G's here, yes. Okay, there we go. This should work. I say should. I think I tested it. I forget. But if it doesn't, that'll be the quickest end to a mission ever. But you know what's great? I could slow us down anyway, because I still got these thrusters. So it's a sort of parachuted thing. There we go. That worked and slowed us down quite a bit. And Elgol is happy. Or Eigel, I don't know if that's an I or an L. It's kind of small on my screen, so it's either Eigel or Elgel. Either one's kind of funky. But we're almost home, and that's a good thing. And we'll just burn a little bit of fuel. Slower descent, a little more. so that hopefully the parachutes do not explode on us, but it should be okay. I think I've done this one before. I forgot that I had done it. I had set it up so that there are a bunch of parachutes on it. But the way it works with this is I think it pops at 500 meters above the surface. So yeah, we're fine. Look at that. Just look at that. We're so good. We're so golden right now. I think I'll leave this on Kerman as a testament to Kerbal ingenuity. Being able to go to the moon and back and still have a bunch of fuel left over for fucking around. But we did land quite a ways away, and if I really wanted to and cared, I could certainly land back at the Kerbal Space Center, but I don't. So it's not going to happen. That is definitely not going to happen. But yeah, we've got like 200 meters or less even before we hit the ground. So, I mean, I could see the ground coming up to me. Next time we'll do Minmus, which is a little bit more difficult because the gravity is just that much weaker that you really bounce, and it's just a really hard. It's a much harder landing to do than the moon. I can tell you that from experience. So there we go. We have landed on Kerman, and look, that's where we came from. The moon. We came from like right over there, and here we are. Stupid game, thank you. Came from like right over there, and now here we are. We went all the way around there, around and landed, and then we came back the other way and straight shotted ourselves here, which worked. So, in the next episode or episodes, we will go to Minmus. Then we will screw around with some space planes, of which I have quite a few, and build some more and just screw around and have a good time. So, see you guys soon.